back inside Rising Sanctuary of the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church. And we have a little bit of time left on the clock, and we have neglected our wonderful audience. And you have a question?
Yes, my name is Toy Dixon. I'm from Cleveland, by the way. But my question to the panel is, I'm raising my 17-year-old nephew, and when all you see is athletes making all the money and on TV and commercials, and they, kids say they want to be, that's what they want to do. They don't say they want to be athlete. I mean, they want to be doctors or lawyers, because that's not what they see. So how do you address that when they don't have that constant interaction with doctors and lawyers or writers? How do you address that? What can I do? What can I say to help them along?
I know we have a lot of parents here that are probably thinking that same thing. Jalen, you want to take that first?
Yes, it's about exposure. And yes, there are a few athletes on commercials, but commercials come on all day that don't have athletes on them as well. So that's another opportunity. But for an athlete, and it's unfortunate, especially as a black athlete, we see athletics or entertainment as our only way out. And as Spike said, it really starts at the top of your family. And what happens as the young man in your family that's raised by your mother, you see your mother working hard, 1 job, 2 jobs, trying to put food on the table. That's where young guys, young ladies say, I'm going to do my part to try to contribute. And unfortunately, that's not always positive. Sometimes they become a part of the street life. And also, and Biggie Smalls said this in the song. I know a couple of you guys know who that is. Either you slinging crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot. And that's the mentality. I need to get it right now. And how can I get it right now? I can go in the backyard and work on my handle. Going to read that book, that takes a little bit longer.
Get rich or die trying.
Exactly. And the unfortunate thing, and I'll pass it to somebody else, they say, and hopefully that's not true for anybody that's watching or listening, and if it is true, change it. They say if you want to hide something from a brother, put it in a book. We got to change that.
How do we change the message then, quickly, Spike?
Well, I want to thank the parent for asking that question, because that's a very vital question. These young brothers and sisters, Jalen used the word exposure. Right now, they don't see any avenues. I could be a rapper, or I could be baller, or I could be in the corner slinging drugs. And we have to get our young people to see that there's more options than that. Half of the young black males in this country are not graduating high school. Half. There are more young black men incarcerated in prisons and in jails than enrolled in college. And we got to get out of this. I'm going to get mine. I get them rims, whatever it is, and how I get it, and who has to suffer the consequences doesn't matter. We just got to open up the options, because they don't see any options.
And the tipping point of making that happen would be what, Marion, in your mind? How do you change that message?
The biggest thing, Jalen mentioned it, Spikes, and is exposure. Exposing your kids. I'm a mother to 3 young kids, and it's huge. You control so many things in their life. You can control, there are so many parents that say you can't control everything your kids watch and are exposed to, and that's correct, but you can teach. You can teach by example. If you're doing the right things in the community, if you're taking your kids with me, for example, a couple of weeks ago, I was trying to really teach the meaning of Christmas. And it's not just about getting things. It's really about how you can help other people. So I take my kids to a soup kitchen so that they can spend their afternoon when they would rather probably be playing their DSi or watching cartoons, giving and seeing how much they are fulfilled by that. And that's the true meaning of Christmas. But that's how you do it. You expose them at a really young age. We spoke earlier about, Coach, about teaching the kids about financial literacy when they're in college. But it needs to happen
Change the message
much
even
early on. He can do so many things while they're there, but it needs to happen when they're young.
Well, we're just about out of time, and it's probably a very fine note to end this evening. Let's hear it for this panel. And also, I'd like to thank our panelists, everybody here at Ebenezer Baptist, very gracious. This is a necessary conversation, as we said at the top. It's not a conversation that we have often, but it's one, and we'd like to thank everyone here, everyone at home, for your time in a very intelligent back and forth on a critical issue.
It is so absolutely necessary. You're right about that, Bob. And it's something for us all to keep in mind and in our hearts as we celebrate the 25th anniversary of the King holiday on Monday. Thank you all very much for being here with us.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
The morning I wake up, just for the breath of life, I thank my maker. Created in his image so God lived through us. And even in this generation, living through computers, only love can reboot us. Come on,
wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. Oh, wake up, everybody, yeah. 'Cause I need a little help, can't do it alone. Oh, I need a little help. Wake up, everybody.